Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Thomas Miller Show. My name is Thomas Miller, and you're listening to my show. I just entertain myself. Anyway, it's been a while. I'm back, and I'm never going to leave you again, unless some meteorite hits the planet or something of that nature. But I am here. Thank you for coming back to the Thomas Miller Show, listening to the show. I do appreciate it. I really, really, really do. If you want to contact me, you can. You can email me, thomasmiller@thomasmillershow.com, thomasmiller@thomasmillershow.com. You can also follow me on Twitter. I will put the links to my Twitter, my True Social, and my YouTube in the comment section down below. If you're listening on podcast, you can share the link, and if that person has podcast, they'll be able to listen to it. But nevertheless, don't fear, don't worry about a thing. You can always listen to the show right now in its full entirety on YouTube. Yes, so just search Thomas Miller Show or follow the link in the description below. Point them in a direction to the YouTube, and they can listen to the show. All right. There's some concerning things going on, and I do have a series coming up. I'm prepping it right now because I've been contemplating very strongly of leaving the place where I currently live, which is Southern California, and I'm trying to find a place to relocate to. So I'm coming up with a series entitled Reasons Not to Stay or to Move to California. So far I've got it up in about 3 parts, but I think this may turn into maybe a 6 or 7-parter. And it's going to be just this podcast, you and I getting together, talking about these issues, and it gives me a chance to go in depth about every issue pertaining to California and why not to move or to leave California. So that's coming very, very soon. In fact, the first installment may be on the very next podcast. But I couldn't wait. This story that we're going to cover today is going to be in one of those parts. So without further ado, I want you to listen to this brief news report. It's about a minute long, and it's something very alarming. Now, these past couple of weeks have been very, very hot, very, very hot, especially in Southern California. I'm assuming, your usual suspects have been just as hot. Arizona, Las Vegas, the deserts, but it's been very, very hot. Now, Southern California just issued a high heat advisory, urging everybody to save electricity whenever possible to take the pressure off the grid. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds awesome. Yeah, let's all do our part. Yada, yada, yada. Let's keep the lights on. I'm going to go in depth about the energy crisis in California in my upcoming series. But for now, I thought I wanted to cover this coming out of the gate because this is truly, truly amazing. So anyway, let's get into it, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. Here we go.
Thousands of Colorado residents were locked out of adjusting their thermostats on a 90-degree summer day. The thermostat read energy emergency. Some in-home temperatures got as high as 88 degrees with no way of cooling the home down. That's because energy company Xcel had placed a temporary lock on their smart thermostats. Xcel said it was only customers who had signed up for a voluntary rewards program that were impacted. The company gives customers a small discount in exchange for control over their AC when the energy grid is strained. Excel said hot weather and high AC usage were the reasons for the temporary lock. This comes as many states deal with a strain on their energy grid. California issuing a state of emergency this week over blackout concerns.
All right. So you heard that. That was very alarming to me because, as you know, on this show, we cover pretty much everything, and don't believe the world, because the world's a big lie. It really is. There's a lot going on that you may or you may not know about. Things that are normal, that may seem mundane, that may seem not threatening. However, they are cause for real concern, and this is one of them. Recently, Lakewood, California, well, not recently, but maybe a year or two ago, Lakewood, California was issuing a voluntary program like this, and they were giving its residents free Ring video doorbells. And you're thinking, how awesome is that? I get a free Ring video doorbell. I can see who's coming up to my door. I can answer people. I can see if a package is being delivered. It's really a cool thing. I can talk with the person if I'm there or not there, who is at my door. Now, when you go purchase a Ring system at the time, they average between $160 and $200, somewhere around in there. Don't quote me. That's just an about average. So Lakewood, California was giving these things away. Just volunteer. You can have one. Well, it come to find out that part of the fine print was, if the local authorities, in this case Lakewood, California, was to need additional footage of surveillance on your street, that they could just take it. They could just take any footage at any given time, have total access to that camera. Well, if you think about it, they gave them an unrestricted view of your street. You're thinking, okay, great. That is awesome. Now people won't be so quick to have crimes happen on their street, or to commit crimes on that street, making the neighborhood safe. Well, yes, that could happen. That is a great idea in theory. However, that is just you handing over more authority to the authorities. At any given time, they can snatch or access your video camera. Now you're thinking it's the Ring doorbell. And I agree. On this one, I agree. I do. I think that's awesome. Now you got the whole street videoed. Okay, for safety right now. I've got some other thoughts on this, but I'm not going to digress. I'm going to try to keep it honed in here. Which brings us to the story you just heard. Now, this is happening in Colorado. And it wouldn't surprise me that it would happen in Southern California or places like it that may want to, quote, conserve energy. For a voluntary program, you could get one of these awesome smart thermostats. And you're thinking, that's pretty cool, because they are kind of expensive, and they have various amounts of features. But one of the most awesome features is you can control that thermostat from your phone. You can program it to come on and off. It's a pretty cool system. You have access to your thermostat anywhere in the world. Wow, that's awesome. So to save money, you might voluntarily enter into one of these programs and get yourself a free smart thermostat. Well, in cases like what you just heard, when the temperature goes up, and let's say The city authorities wanted you to voluntarily turn up your thermostat to say 78 degrees. But you're like, no, it's a voluntary. I don't want to do that. I think I want to run mine at 75 degrees. Still want to do my part, but I don't want to go all the way up to 78 because that's still kind of hot. For most of us, it's kind of hot. For me, that is hot. I run my thermostat. I'm probably going to get myself in trouble, but I run my thermostat at 72 degrees. I like 72 degrees. I like it. Anything above that, it gets too hot for me. Brother, gets hot. Chocolate starts melting. I don't like it. If I had my choice and if I was literally made of money, I would probably run it at about 65. I'd rather wear a sweatshirt than bake. But anyway, the local authorities in Colorado have taken over the smart thermostats that these customers or that these users have voluntarily opted into this program. Free thermostat, we control your thermostat. So now if you wanted to keep it, say, not at 78, but at 75, they can literally lock you out of your thermostat. Lock you out of your thermostat to where you cannot control your own temperature in your own home. Some of you are thinking, okay, that's great because somebody needs to do it in case, these people, these ruffians don't want to play by the rules. But you got to think about that. You have just given your right to comfort away. You have just, because you wanted it for free, have just given up all control of your thermostat. Now they're impeding on the comfort of your home, your castle, your safe space. Because they've taken over and they have locked you out. And that's that little fine print that they probably don't share with you so openly. Because I guarantee you, if someone was to say, hey, I'm going to give you this free smart thermostat, but I'm going to control your temperature. Most of us, including myself, would be, no, that's fine. I'll just buy my own. Thank you very much. Because I kind of like to do what I want in America where it's free to do what I want. So if I don't want to opt into this voluntary power shortage, whatever, I don't have to. It's voluntary. It's on a volunteer basis, meaning I don't have to if I don't want to. So if they shared that information with you, chances are you wouldn't have purchased that or you wouldn't have opted into that program. Which leads me to other things. I started researching. They have smart water valves. So the internet can control your water. You also have your smart locks that can be accessed through the internet. Smart locks. Oh, this is great. You can use your phone to unlock and lock your door. This goes into your lights, your electricity. All of this can be controlled with your smartphone. Now, if they can do this with a thermostat, imagine if everything was controlled via the internet or quote internet. And they have access to every part of your home, from water to heating to cooling to lights to access. Now let's go one step further. Oh, I'm trying not to go down a path here, but I think we all see where this is going. I'm going to try to keep it short and concise, but I think we see where this is going. It's not a secret that there's this reset, the great reset, the financial reset, or we're going to get rid of fiat currency. That's that stuff you carry around, or less of it, because we all pretty much do our financial services through electronic banking, some sort of electronic banking. And you still have some sort of control over that. But what if we go 100% crypto, like they want to do with this financial reset? It's probably going to happen. We'll talk about that on later podcasts, but it's probably going to happen. Now they've got control of your money. They've got control of your home in the forms I just said: security, utilities, and water and things like that. Cameras, even cameras. So now California also in 2035, I believe, they want to go all 100% electric vehicles. Boy, this is getting crazy. So if you don't play by the rules, you see where this is going. You won't be able to control your money, control your home, and control your automobile, because they can literally lock you out. There can be some way that they can put an electronic lock if you do anything that they don't like, whoever they is. You really can't pinpoint because there's so many parts of they. But if you do anything that they don't like, you might not be able to charge your vehicle. If this vehicle is plugged in, we've now put a charging lock on it. So you won't be able to go anywhere. You won't be able to buy anything. You won't have access to your money, your hard-earned money. They literally will control you. This is what's so scary about this idea. Some people may say, oh, this is a great idea. Again, for all you hooligans who don't want to play by the rules. Well, if I don't want to, here's the real talk about living in America. You can do whatever you want right now. I think you can pretty much still do whatever you want. But you have to be willing to accept the consequences. Good or bad, you can. You can do whatever you want. You can go out, and let's say you can go out and you could rob banks. Nobody's going to stop you. That's what you want to do? That's what you want to do. But you got to be willing to accept the consequences. You want to go out and feed the homeless, build houses, maybe work, volunteer your time at a hospital? Absolutely. And there's consequences to that, good consequences. But you're still in America and you're still free. This is what's going on. They're taking those freedoms away from you, or you're voluntarily giving them away. That's why, another reason why I'm going to put together this series of why not to move. Why move? How did I word it before? Why not to move to California and why to leave California. There's going to be a whole series. I got a cool name for it. I'll put up a cool name. But that's why I advocate to right now, while you can, buy yourself, even if it's just a chunk of land in semi-rural America. I'd like to go to rural America, but if you go to semi-rural America, buy yourself a chunk of land, pay cash for it if you can, and build yourself an off-the-grid paradise. That way no one has control over what you do on your land. I really, really believe that. It's just amazing what we give away under the guise of we want to save money, or that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. They already know exactly what you do when you do it. They might be listening to this little podcast right now, and it's just a stupid little podcast designed to help people be more educated about what's going on around them. This world is not what you think it is. Especially now. There probably was a time in the not so distant past where we're still a lot of freedoms. Our freedoms have cut down. We've dramatically shrunk our freedoms, and they're not going to stop. So be careful when there's a free program like this where it's a smart system. Anything smart now, I'm going to say it's dumb. Anything smart is dumb because they can control everything. They can shut down your automobile. I know of some finance companies that actually put in a system that if you do not pay your car note on time, they can literally shut it down. They can lock you out of your car, lock you out of your vehicle, all from a remote location. And that's what they did with these thermostats. They locked these users out from a remote location, and there was nothing they could do. So if they decided that you're not playing by the rules, oh, you will be playing by the rules. So that's all I got for you today. Just keep that in mind. Remember, we've only been dependent upon smart devices and Wi-Fi technology probably for only the last, I'm going to say really dependent upon it these last 25 years. Yes, it was around before then, but not that many people had that stuff. Cell phones weren't prominent. They've only gotten super prominent within the last, I'm going to say 15 years. There's a lot of good things that smart technology can do, but we are giving away so many freedoms. Just keep that in mind. Thank you guys for coming back listening to the podcast. I really do appreciate it. Remember, you can email me, thomasmiller@thomasmillershow.com, or follow me on True Social, Twitter, and YouTube. Thank you so much, and I'll be speaking with you again. Bye.